Welcome back to another video on schema markups and structured data. In this video, we're going to look at how to implement schema markups. There's two ways to do it. Either you could do it manually or you could do it automatically on a global basis. So just like titles, metas, right? That's one way to do it, how you could do it on a global level. So schema markups also something that you could do it on a either post by post, content by content level, or how do you say, on a global level. So let's look at the options, right? If you go to SEO Press and you go to schemas over here, the pro version has this, the free version does not have it. So if you go to schemas, you will see these. There's three schema over here. There's blog post schema, there's plugin review schema, apps review schema. So the blog post schema basically adds a schema markup to contents on my blog post that says it's an article, right? So article schema markup. Let's try to see what it is. Sorry, let's go here as well. Let's go back. Sorry, let's go back real quick. I just want to explain what certain thing is or not, right? That's why. So article, an article such as news article or piece of investigative report. Newspaper and magazines have articles of many different type, and this is intended to cover them all, right? See also blog post. So it could either be a blog post or a news article. For some reason I decided to implement, how do you say, article schema. So it's a news article, it's a content, a creative content, the how do you say, the article schema is a wide range, just like a blog schema, right? I don't see a big difference right now in terms of what it is or not, right? So what I've done is, for all my posts, they're unique article, they're creative elements, they're written by an author, that's me. So these are unique pieces of content, and I've decided to put let's say article schema on them. And there's two ways I could do it, right? As I mentioned earlier, I could either do it on a post basis. So if I go back to my post, how to install a WordPress plugin again, I could go all the way down where there's SEO Press meta box over here. So I could select on manual, I could say add schema, I could close it, right? So it could be expand, I could say it's an article schema, and then I could say it's an article generic. What is the headline? What is the description? I could copy everything from the top. I could add in who's the author, the image of the post, when does the coverage start from, start date, start time, coverage end date, end time, speakable, all these other details, right? Fill up whatever information you need. So that's one way to do it. If you click publish, it'll be implemented. But is that a smart way to do it? Maybe if you have a few posts, maybe not if you don't have a few posts. I have a lot of posts and I want to generate this on bulk. So what I've done is I've actually created a global level schema markup, right? So I've shown you how to do it on a post level, but if you want to do it on a global level, let's say I create a new one called add schema. So let's say created a one called blog post schema, right? So SEO Press is very awesome, very unique, where you can map field types. You can select what type of content do you want to have, what type of schema, and even within that you can say I want custom fields and stuff in this schema markup. Okay, all right, so basically for all our blog posts I want to have, let's say, article, web page schema markup, right? And this is generic, so I said post type is equal to post, which is blog post, right? Or post type is equal to plugins, or post type is equal to apps. So there's three different post types that I want article schema to be implemented. And then map all schema properties to value. So now, you know how it asks for certain fields? Now I could add dynamic value. So instead of going to every post trying to create schema markup, I do it on a global basis. And here is where I can select what dynamic value do I input on every field box, right? So what type of schema it is? It's article, right? What is the headline? I will select my post title. What is the description? The excerpt of the post. Who's the author for the post? Is the author who's written the post. What image do I use? I use the feature image, right? So you can say that. Do you want to go more into details of coverage, start time and stuff? No, I don't, right? I don't want to have that information. No problem, because these are the most basic stuff that is needed, and anything else is not essential, right? but you can always test and see if it's essential or not by going to the actual checker code. That's what we're gonna do. So let's say I update it or I publish it, and then how do I test if this has been implemented, right? So I created a schema markup and I published it, and it looks like this, right? It says all post type equal to post or plugins or apps need to have article schema. Again, we go back to our favorite schema markup testing tool. So we go close out this unnecessary stuff. We search for schema, Google structured data test. We go over here, we do a new test. And here we're going to select our earlier post that was on how to install WordPress plugin, right? So how to install WordPress plugin, we'll select this content, go over here, enter it. Let's click run test and see what we get. Usually it should not have any schema markup, but you see now after it was implemented, it got all the details. So it now knows what date it was published, what date it was modified, 22/8, which is today, right? So it was modified on 22/8. Actually, yeah, so 21st says yesterday, today. It depends on the time zone. So very recently, what's the headline, right? It got the headline dynamically from the post, how to install a WordPress. It got the description already and says what type of content it is. Remember in schema markup, it had selected web page, and that's why it's showing web page over here. Let's go back and look at it anyway to double check. It says web page, right? So that's what it was selected, and then it has the author, which was me, because I selected the author, right? And what type of image it is. It was the cover image, it's there. And now it also adds a global level. Remember how I've selected the organization on the local business as well as normal, because this has been enabled, right? So the organization name is there, and remember how your social accounts, like all of these are there. My Facebook URL, YouTube channel, and LinkedIn. So it was under SEO, and then it was under social networks. So the remaining data is coming from there. So publisher, right? This is all the publisher information. If I'm wrong, which I might be, there's another place where the publisher information is available, but it's fine because we can find where to put it. Not a big deal, but I have a feeling it's coming from here. So it's got all this data. Again, why is this helpful? Because it's providing that extra information to Google in terms of what the content is about, right? Who is published by. It's not just about what the content, but now it's actually tying the content to me as an author. So if I personally have my own blogging website, or my name is so popular, if I'm a very popular person and there's a lot of references going to me, then it just adds more authority. So Google's connecting all this dot and saying, oh hey, this guy Ankit, he knows a lot about online marketing. If it's content by this guy, then most probably it makes sense. I should actually rank it higher, So it gives that authority if the author is very popular. Like if it's Neil Patel or someone from the guy from Backlinko or anyone else, maybe, yeah, they got more authority going on in terms of that subject matter. So it just helps Google connects the dot. Also the organization, right? Like what organization this is. Is this a good organization? Is this a renowned organization? Do they have a strong digital footprint? So it just connects all the dot. And when that's going on, you're playing the brand game. And when you're playing the brand game in the long term, with more content, with more assurance, with more expertise, authority, and trust on the internet, your content's most likely going to rank higher, right? Not just in terms of brand, but also in terms of digital brand, what search engines and everyone else use that data points to connect the dots, right? So that's pretty much it in terms of implementing schema markups. In the next few videos, I'm actually going to talk about reverse engineering schema markups and also implementing the special rating star, the rich snippets. Okay, so this one is a simple schema markup implementation video on a post level. The next one we're going to look at is going to be on how to implement schemas for special post types, but everything starts from research. So I'll see you in the next video.